last night was crazy. I was in Vegas and I saw Jeffrey Ross. He's like a comedian, and like you know who that is? He's funny as fuck. And he was like just like in a hot tub, like floating, like just in a hot tub, and like just like long hair, just like floating in this hot tub with like 9 women. And like out of the whole party, it was like weird. It was a weird ass party, by the way. It was a Miley Cyrus party. It was weird as fuck.
Twerk, Molly, twerk.
But
did Molly twerk?
Yeah, no, I don't know. I was not watching. But he was just like, oh shit, like Jewish. You know what I'm saying? I was like, what? I get spotted out by like any Jewish person. Like, people just see me in the airport. They'll just be like, keeping it Jewish. You know what I'm saying? I just be like, man. I'm like, I gotta do the crazy like Israel OVO fest. Like, you know what I'm saying? just like Matisyahu headlining. I'm just opening. That's a Jewish rapper, by the way. Sorry. I feel like I'm doing stand-up comedy. You want to ask some questions?
It's all good. That's how this crown, baby. It's
Yeah. All right, cool. Go ahead.
Kanye, the throne, also Jay-Z. You guys have an amazing relationship, it seems like.
We do.
That you do great collaborations.
Keep asking that question. I'm just going to refill Mama's glass real quick.
Yeah, she needs it.
Come on, baby. I'm listening.
Oh, we got the Magnum joint.
There you go. No, yeah, it's good? All right.
If Mom needs the Magnum, we ready.
Yeah. No, keep asking the question. Yeah, we need her right. She needs to forget everything she heard tonight. She needs to go buy that album, you know what I'm saying? Shit. Forget everything you've heard this evening. I'm still the guy with the clouds in the background. All right, I'm ready. Go ahead, Louis Vuitton.
No. Pound cake,
Yeah.
cake. Talk me through pound cake.
Pound cake happened while I was writing for Beyonce, or working with Beyonce. Not writing for, working with. I hate saying writing for because she's a phenomenal writer.
She got bars.
Yeah, she has bars on bars. So we worked together, and then Jay was playing me Magna Carta, and he had a song that he played me with those verses on it. And I heard the song, and I really was like, the thing that set me off was the fact that Uncle West got a shout out. You know, I don't know if you guys know Uncle West.
Worldwide West.
Yeah, Worldwide West. You know, he's like you could clap for him if you want. You know,
Worldwide West, baby.
But he's another mentor. You know, and he's like a boss of all bosses. And he's just like a great. You know, he embraces a lot of young talent, whether it be sports or music or whatever. He's just a great guy. And so I had the nerve to ask Jay if I could not only get that song from him, but get the a cappella because I had an idea for it. And Jay is such a supportive person as far as my career goes and such a great guy that for the first time, I think, in his career, he sent me like 2 verses a cappella. He told me, he's like, I would never do this. Like, I don't even know if I should tell you guys that, but it's too late. That ship has sailed. But yeah, he told me, he was like, he sent it to me, and me and Boy Wonder started kind of piecing together ideas. At first, me and 40 had made a beat around it, and the beat was just a bit too nostalgic. It was like, I was like, man, this is like some like Foxy Brown like album cut. You know, we had to like switch it. It was a crazy beat. It just got a little too like 96 on them, or like 90, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, it was like too ill nah basically. So
you can't go too ill nah.
You can go too ill nah, trust me. So then Boy Wonder came through with this incredible beat, and again, much like Tuscan Leather, the song just started taking shape. You know, the beat brought the Jay verses to life. I sent the song back to Jay, and that was when it almost became a Jay-Z song. And then, but he's just like he's such a good guy. Like, he was just like, man, I gave my word. Everybody around him was hype off the song. But he's like, honestly, like, I'll tell you, man, like, we're all like so grateful to have Hov, like, for real. I don't know if you, like, I'm sure you guys feel the same way, but like, I don't know what I'd do without that guy sometimes. Like, he's just, like, full of, like, gems, full of advice. And, I mean, obviously one of the most talented people. And just,
So he just loved So Far Gone, and then he reached out to you, and that's how the relationship kind of developed?
No. I think that I kind of got brought in later than that, like around, like when we did, like Off That.
Yeah.
So let me talk about Off That for a second. So Off That was like a reference. Initially,
you got black Timbs on right now, baby.
yeah,
We're back.
I know. Yeah, it's like, okay, let's just talk about this for a second.
Yeah, he
was
regrets
not-
off that. He regrets off that. Black Timbs is back.
Yeah, no, but like, okay, yeah, it was just like, all right, listen.
The
disaster
of Off
I wasn't.
That.
No, it's not a disaster. I wasn't supposed to be on that hook though, and if I was on that hook, I probably would have said different things. I initially wrote it as a reference to somebody, you know, and it ended up making the album. And at that time, who's gonna say no to a, you know, I wasn't on some like, no, let me change it. I was just grateful to be on the album, but I probably would have said things different. But aside from that, Light Up and Pound Cake, I'm very proud of me and Hove's work. Like, we do great things together.
So is it just like a lyrical kind of toe-to-toe kind of thing? You feel like that?
Yeah,
you can bring a song?
it's tough to go anywhere else. I mean, we both like rapping and raps, you know, and like I'll play him my stuff and he plays me his stuff, and it's just always like, I'm always proud to hear him, like, you know, have the craziest bars, and vice versa. You know, he likes to hear I'll play him little pieces, bits and pieces, and he'll just be like, all right, like, you know, and we talk about music a lot, you know, so when we do connect, it's tough for it not to be that.
Yeah.
You know, it's tough to just go and be like, oh man, let's just do
do
60, yeah, or like, you know, like, let's just limit ourselves. Like, nah, we want to, like, I want to give people, like, and that was one thing I want to do on this album, was just give you like bars. Like, I make albums with that in mind, you know, with performing in mind, and with just the listening experience.
Hold On, We're Going Home is that different type of record like that, where you feel like, were you nervous at all putting that out? Because that kind of you putting that record out.
Regime, you saw that? Yeah, he was giving me the season, baby, season.
All right, oh yeah, hey now, hey, it's early now, hey.
And Miguel's here too. What the hell?
Would you like a tour? Talk about why that record felt right to put that out, especially even as a single. It's kind of like you put, like it drew up on iTunes one day, kind of like you low-key put it out. You know, did you feel a little nervous that this may be a little different for what you're doing?
Yeah, I think that's why I kind of like put out All Me right before. I was like, yo, I can still rap, and then
Oh me, oh my.
But Hold On, We're Going Home has probably been the biggest record of my career so far, actually, to be honest with you.
But that's like, sounds like that big hit record, like
Well,
you kind of worry
aside
about
from
that
a big hit record, it's just like, I was sitting here thinking, like, you know, I'm sure we're all like somewhere between like, you know, 18, 19, and like 17, whatever. All right.
15.
So let's say we're all between 12 and...
Shout out to the real 12-year-olds in the house tonight.
Yo, shout out to all the 12-year-olds in the building. What's up? It's mad 12-year-olds in this bitch tonight.
Crazy 12-year-old.
But yeah, I feel like, you know, I was thinking of everybody between 12 years old and like 30.
You wasn't thinking no 12-year-old.
I was thinking of all the 12-year-olds. And 30. I was just like, man, like, because I hear like my dad or like, you know, my mom like reminisce on music and be like, oh, that was my song. I was just like, man, what are people gonna say? What's gonna be like? What are you gonna get? What's gonna be the song you dance to at your wedding? You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just like, I don't, like, there's a couple joints, but I couldn't think of that many. Like, what are gonna be those songs that age extremely well, that are timeless music? And then I started being like, I want one of those. You know, like, I want one of those. And 40 found this incredible group, Magic Jordan, and they're about to like blow the world away. And they had this like little demo idea that was like, you know, an incredible, it's like sort of scratch vocals, you know, just here and there. And it was that beat. And I came up with this, just hold on, we're going home. I had like seen it somewhere, and I was like, that would make a great hook. Just that phrase looked really good, like on paper. And yeah, I just came up with the song, and we did it in one night. And I don't know if Madge is here. I don't think he's here, but we did it in one night together. It was like an incredible working experience. And from there, I was like, if I want to make a commitment in my career to be the guy that like pushes music forward a bit, I think I should drop this record. And we all kind of agreed that it would be the next single. And the video's about to come out this week, which is great.
Okay.
And yeah, it was nerve-wracking at first. I mean, of course, like, you know, as much as I live in like the same world as you, which is like the rap internet world. I am a big part of it. Even though like you don't see me on there that much, I'm actually on there a lot, for real.
Follow me on Twitter.
Yeah. I'm on there a lot. Like I keep up with what's going on, and sometimes it's easy to fall victim to a lot of the scrutiny in there, but that's actually not the real world, to be honest with you. You know, that is like to base your career off the scrutiny of like, you know, the 10 guys that like, you know, that like dictate like what rap is and what's cool and shit like that. Like, it's dope to have them on your side, but even when they're not on your side, like, it doesn't mean that like I'm good. You know what I mean? Like, you know, they've said shit about me before, or whoever it is. Like, that particular world is something not to get caught up in. And that's what I tried to do on this album. I was like, you know what? Even if like Twitter doesn't like agree with it right away, I'm gonna go forward with this, and it actually worked out amazing, man. Everybody hit me like, yo, this is not a reach for you. This sounds like you. It sounds great. This is a direction that we can't wait to hear, and it's a direction that I can't wait to go. I mean, I'm really looking forward at some point, not right now, because I feel like I obviously have a couple more rap albums to make, but I'm looking forward to giving you that moment, you know, my version of whatever, you know, like I remember hearing 808s. I'm looking forward to giving you my version of like a full singing record one day, so.
I want to bring out our extra guest in a minute,
yeah.
but I want to ask one more question before.
Oh yeah, please, yeah.
About another powerful song, Too Much, obviously. You know, you debuted it on Fallon, and you gave a little disclaimer actually before you performed it. Why did you do that?
That's a great question.
I'm trying, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what bat mitzvahs and 16s are, but I think I'm trying to be back.
You're doing. You're a doer.
And I got a good laugh, Jersey.
Yeah.
All right.
You've been easy on, the laugh isn't as harsh in person. I think it's the mics that you guys use.
Pull
It's
the
just,
mic away.
yeah, it's amplified like on the internet. On the internet, it'll just be like, yeah, so yeah. Like you don't even like, it just goes from like 1 to like 1,000. So yeah, I gave, why did I give a disclaimer before? I'll be very honest and candid with you. I gave a disclaimer before because a couple nights before I did that performance, I gave my mother an iPod. I gave my mother an iPod with the album on it, and I told her to listen to that song. I told her about it previously, but I told her to listen to it. Partly to make sure that she was comfortable with it, but I didn't say that. I just said, just make sure you listen to this one song. And for the first time, my mom was extremely upset. She was like really upset with me. She was upset because she felt like it warranted a personal conversation before I went and said that in a song. And what I had to remind her of is that we had had this personal conversation many times over, and I felt like it wasn't going anywhere. And it was sitting on my chest so heavy that one night when I had that second verse to finish, it just all it was like it was a huge release. I don't think I've ever felt anything like that before. I mean, I wasn't even writing the words down, and I'm not just saying that to like sound cool. I wasn't even writing it down. I was just in the booth, running in and out, going line by line because my thoughts were racing through my head so fast. And yeah, it you know, I've got hit up by like girls before, or like whatever, you know, people that feel like they got like mismentioned in the song, and I never do it out of malice. I don't try and exploit the people in my life. And if you listen to my music, it's not like I'm here like, oh, this girl, you know what I'm saying, she done been with this guy. I don't out people. I just I do tell my story though. Yeah. And any girl that I've ever mentioned, she loves it anyway. She just but
Who the waitresses and all that, they love it.
But yeah, with that being said, I gave that disclaimer on TV because I knew my mother would be watching, you know, and since I chose to communicate that message to her publicly. I also wanted to communicate another message to her publicly, which was that, just like, I love you, you know, I do. I love you with all my heart, and I want the best for you. I didn't mean to make the world think that you're like some person that's just hiding out, but at the end of the day, you know, I want a lot more from my mother. You know, she's 66. That scares me, man. I'm 26 years old, you know. Life is not guaranteed. It does not last forever. I want her to, like, start feeling better and get on a plane and go wherever she wants to go and see as much of the world and come to the crowns and come to the first concerts. And, you know, and my mom doesn't do that. You know, she stays where she's at, and it does bother me. So I gave that disclaimer because I felt partly guilty, and also because I really wanted her to know how much I loved her in front of the whole world. So, yeah.
I think because of that. I know you also love 40. 40 here? Where's 40 at, man? I want 40.
Yeah, you got to bring that shit
Where's
out.
40?
Boss man, hey now.
Ask Cat Songwriter, yeah. This is the architects of the OVO sound right here, baby.
How y'all doing?
How you doing? That's Noah, 40. What's up, 40?
What's up, Elliott?
Yo, you the ASCAP Songwriter of the Year, man. How you feeling, baby?
Feel good. I don't come out the studio to notice what's going on too often, but it's a nice surprise when I get here.
So Drake was telling a little bit. I mean, you guys are I'm sure you guys are very proud of this album that was the same on the eve of the release. I got kind of Drake's perspective of things. What was your? He said you pushed him to make him be more condensed, like to get it down to, you know, not just make a lot of songs, but make a strong, concise body of work. Like, give me a little bit about your insight about the project and what made it different than Take Care.
Well, I just think when it comes to that, it's easier to keep adding more, and like, you have to be careful not to dilute it, but it's easier to add more to fix a problem, you know, opposed to starting from the right place. And that even comes from production, where some producers make really simple beats, but if it's really simple and it's that good, that's the genius. To keep adding all the parts and all the pieces isn't as difficult to achieve that end goal. So to have a concise body of work that is as good as it should be, and there's no loose ends in there, and there's no dead weight, that's, to me, would make a better project. And I think that's what we, you know, I challenged Drake, ourselves, both of us too. So.
And I noticed with this album, like, you had like outside producers like Mike Zombie did, started from the bottom, and you used a lot more outside production than you probably ever have.
I don't know. I mean,
no?
Yes and no. I mean, we always have outside producers. You know, like I come from a certain place and I make music a certain way. You know, I'm very different than a lot of producers because I start with the keys. I don't start with the drums. You know, and 99% of producers, especially in rap music, start with their drum programming first. So what drives my music is a little different, and there's a time and place where we have to look to other people, such as Wonder or other people who have been part of Drake's career from day one, that really help us deliver that message across the board. And that's always been that way. That's nothing new, you know. But I'm also a mixer and engineer, so I can help in other ways outside of actually making the beat. You know, I can help bring the whole project together and the sound of it, and make sure it's right and it translates. So.
Executive producer.
Sure.
Extraordinaire. So is the keys? Is it the?
That was like the clearest laugh you've given us all night. That was really good.
Was that clear? No.
Yeah, I was waiting for it.
The chemistry you guys and the music that you create, what makes that sound distinctive from everything else that's out there?
Probably the fact that we can, between the two of us, make music like single-handedly. It's not a lot of people have that opportunity where they get to go in the studio with somebody and literally take a song from front to the end, just like the two or three people that are in the room. There's a lot of people are involved in making music these days, I feel like, for the most part. And that gives us some sort of consistency across the board and to Drake's career. And I've tried my best to be very consistent, you know, as far as only really spending my energy and time working on this project and all I really care to work on. So, I mean, that's, I think, what I bring to the table on that level. But, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, we're just trying to make the best music we can.
I was going to say, you definitely did Nas by Baby, but, you know, you don't do a lot of outside production. You keep it real.
No, I don't.
Strict to Drizzy Drake, man.
Yeah.
What's going on with that?
Because that's what it is for me.
They can't get you 40? They can't get you,
No,
baby?
not really. But, you know, this is where I came up, you know. This is work. You just said I won Songwriter of the Year. I work with one guy. Yeah. I mean, I guess I'm doing something right, so I don't have a problem with that, you know?
Can I just say, too, like, just to touch on what you said, it's like, you know, 40 will, like, literally make the beat, then like record the vocals, make the vocals sound amazing, go make an amazing cup of coffee, go build a Lego airplane,
I like
and
Lego in the
then
studio.
and then take the record, add to it, take it to a whole nother world, which like makes me come in and have to go harder because I'll be honest, like, you know, this album, I got completely outworked by this guy, you know, and I was just talking to Detail, who worked with us as well in Toronto, but I got so outworked by this guy. I mean, I would leave to go sleep and I would come back and he'd still be awake. It was like surreal, the work ethic and the amount of production and the amount of like creativity that he put into this. But then past the music, you know, the album has to go to mixing and mastering, and 40 does it.
It's
So it's like,
that's your
it's
job
just-
too, buddy.
Yeah, it's literally like, it doesn't leave the room, you know? I don't have to go and search and try and make it sound, like, my sound is, it's our sound, you know? It really is, it doesn't leave one room, and that's like, no other artist can really say that. I mean, anybody you think of has to go get their stuff mixed by this guy or that. We do it all ourselves, and I think that's why it stands out, you know, so. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
How's your health? Because I know you have MS, and that was something that was touched on when we did that first. We
Yeah.
did that first documentary with MTV, and like, you know, Drake had talked eloquently about your connection and like being concerned about that. Like, how are you doing with that? And
My health's good. My health's good. I mean, I have remitting relapsing MS, not progressive MS. There's two types. Progressive is you're in trouble. You know, things happen and they don't go away. Mine, things happen, they go away. So sometimes I have troubles, and you know, God willing, they go away, and I move on with my life. And for the most part, I'm 90% healthy, and no one really know any difference. You know.
Cool. Just had a 30th birthday.
I
Happy
try to,
birthday.
just make sure I'm sleeping and eating healthy and taking care of myself, which is really, really difficult when you're not sleeping and working for months at a time. So that being said,
Yeah, outworking him.
I have a little bit of work to do on my own health and my own self as far as, getting myself in the best place I can be. But I'm doing great. I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking.
No, definitely. Before I let you go, 40, talk about this guy a little bit. Like, how has this guy gotten better as an artist from working with him? Because you've always believed in him.
Well, I mean, from day one, I would say like he was the best rapper in the world. Like I would say that to people. But this is early though. This is before anybody heard anything.
Before it was all
okay?
cool and shit. Now it's cool.
This was a long time ago. Because to me, I recognized something in him that I felt was different than everybody else, especially at that time in rap music. And that resonated to be true, I believe, with So Far Gone and everything else. So I've always believed in him, I think it's sort of like making this 13-song album. Like, we're getting more concise. We're shaving more of the trimmings off. Like, it's getting better and better, And that, to me, is the most important part for just to keep growing. Like, I feel like we've grown every project, And everyone can have an opinion. It's music. You might like it. You might not like it. This might be your favorite. That might be your favorite. It's impossible to satisfy everybody or to do that across the board. But we've always grown, and Drake's always growing, and he amazes me every single time he gets in the booth. And so I don't know. It's not like
Don't say, oh, it's hip hop shit, man.
yeah.
Come on.
But he's never gone downhill. There's never been a moment where it's like, oh shit, Drake needs to work harder, or he's not rapping good. Like every time, every album, I'm like, shit, you get better. Like, fuck, you got better again. I say that to him every time, And yet again, this time, I said the same thing.
It seems like
to
he's
him,
like
so.
ready to go back to work, man. You ready to get in that fourth album?
Yeah,
Ready?
I mean,
good?
we usually don't stop.
going?
I'm really trying to take a break right now.
That tour might mess it up a little, but
Yeah,
let's
no,
go,
I'm trying
man.
to sleep through most of the tour.
Time. You deserve it. You
I'm gonna
got
take a
like
little
about,
break.
what, you got like 3 weeks. Or
Yeah. I think we started working after Take Care probably like 2 or 3 weeks after we started working.
Oh, you did? That quick?
Yeah, but it's hard to stop working, I mean, there's not much else I want to do with my time, This is like the most important thing for me, to follow through with what we're doing, to complete our journey and our path, and I want to do it to the best of my ability, and I'll have fun later, Like, I got to work right now, so that's where my focus is.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Well, thank you, 40. I appreciate it, baby. I know
Thank
you don't
you,
do a
Elliott.
lot of press.
Come on, bro. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Love you.
Yo.
You didn't even leave. Yo, Drake said, yo, when you talk to 40, I might go back and do a costume change real quick and come
I
back.
definitely did not say that. That's a great lie. I said I might go to the bathroom and get a drink, but I actually, I don't, I'm going to tell you, 40 doesn't get interviewed like that, so I stuck around just for a thank you chair guy.
Chair removal guy.
Yeah, 40 doesn't.
No, I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a
it's
rare-
love. It's
you
love.
would think because, I mean, like, at the end of the day, it's like people don't give it the respect. It's an MC and a producer. Like, you guys are building this whole thing. Like, it's from day one. Like, That's as hip hop as you get.
Yeah, but it's also like happening now. So it's like, I don't want to talk about classic. I don't want to talk about history. I hate those words. It's happening right now.
Present.
So, like, you know, it's like when I talked to Snoop at OVO Fest, and I was like, man, you know, he's like, where you want to take it? And I was like, man, I just want everybody to love me like how they love Pac. He was like, man, just know when Pac was here, he didn't feel like everybody loved him. You understand what I'm saying?
Very true.
So with that being said, it's happening now. And like in 10 years, like we'll decide what's classic, you know, who was the best, who was this, what album you love the most. All that's like, it's just like, I always encourage people to just like love it for what it is right now. But the terms that get thrown around, it gets out of hand, you know, and like, that's why like you asked me like, what's my best album? Like, the net, like it's like we're going. It's happening right now. You know, we'll talk about that like when I'm like, you know, like in like St. Bart's, like laid out, like just like tanning oil head to toe. You know what I mean? Like 40 years old, just like, you know, what?
Even though you had that line of, I know you also hate like sales projections and all that. Like even though you had that line of Versace about you think you're gonna sell 1 million. I know
Oh yeah, no, I was about to say no. This time I like the sales projections. This time it's good.
How we looking? Drizzy
I
Drake
don't know.
doing 1 million? We doing good?
No, I don't know. I mean, like it's whatever. You know, if I do 900, is that a loss? You know, like I don't know. Like what? Who cares? You know, it's just like, do you like the music or do you not? Are you coming to the shows to enjoy yourself and let loose? Does the album help you with what you're going through? If it does, then I don't care how many I sell. Like I just want you to be happy.
I want to talk about the moves you're making also business-wise. I mean, it seems like heavy OVO. You have a new label deal situation going on over there.
Yep.
You know, how have you done that? Like, you know, how have you maintained your loyalty to YMCMB but still develop your movement now, the OVO thing? How do you balance that?
I'm always loyal to Young Money. You know, you always hear me represent as best I can. I think it's been established that at the end of the day, you know, I came up under Lil Wayne's wing, and I wouldn't have asked for it to go any other way. But at the same time, you know, I become my own artist and my own entity. You know, I didn't. It could have gone a lot of other ways, but it went this way, and I talk about it on the album as well. But yeah, I just try and be as loyal as I can, you know. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna be Drake, you know, and I believe in what I believe in, you know, and I love Stunner and I love Wayne with all my heart, and Nicki, and but at the same time, you know, I always feel like me being out here pushing what I'm doing and pushing OVO, it only makes the label look better, you know. So I just try and make it like a joint thing, you know. Everything I do is hopefully a positive to Young Money, and you know, this album I hope it does incredible things, and I hope they're proud and whatnot. But I've always been super loyal, but I've always did my own thing, you know. I'm just like, I'm the kid from Canada that stays in Canada for real, you know. Like I don't just like be just hanging around for no reason. Like I come around when it's time, and when it's not, I go and work. That's just my thing, you know. And a lot of people take that as like, oh, well, I'm not really, you know, but I just want to let everybody know, like, I have nothing but love for those guys, and I'm just here as Drake in front of you. That's me, like, you know, that's my thing. That's the best I can offer.